Hello everybody, welcome to the Go language course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the file reading in Go language. Before I do so, I have to include the main package on the first line of the program. Also, I have to import the fmt package so that I'm able to use the printline function coming from this package. So let us go to the main function. We can use the os package to handle files. That's why I've also imported the os package in the import statement at the beginning of the program. Okay, so I can use os.Open followed by a text file name to help me open the file. So the file object will be stored in the file variable here, and if the file opening fails, I would have an error, and the error will show up in the ERR variable. Okay, so what is the text file? Let us see here. I've already put a text file here, so I have just a few lines of English characters. Okay, so if I want to open this file, I just tell Go language to open the particular file name here. Of course, I have to include the extension, which is txt here. So if this file is not present, or if there is any kind of file opening error, the error variable will not be null. And in this case, I'm able to show the errors coming from the file opening. Okay, so it is idiomatic to defer the closing of a file in Go language, and when other things are executed, we can close the file to prevent resource leakage. Okay, so we can use the defer keyword so that everything will be done before I close the file. Okay, so let us see the result of running this simple program. Now I have already got the text file, so it should be okay for me to open the file. So let us see the result. Yes, you can see that I'm able to have nothing to output because I just saved the content into the file object, and this saving is pretty easy to do. Okay, so I have no error coming out. Okay, suppose the file is lost or it's gone, I will have an error coming out. So let me try now. So now the file is deleted. If I run the program again, what will happen? Let us see now. Yes, you can see that I'm not able to find out this file because that file is already gone. Okay, so you will have an error here. The error is not null any longer. Therefore, I will print out the error message. Okay, so I just created the text file again. Okay, it is also possible for us to read the file line by line. How can I do so? I can make use of the bufio package to help me do so. So before I use the bufio package, I have to really create the code as before, so that I'm able to have a file object together with the error message if the file opening fails. Okay, so how can I use the package? I can say bufio followed by new scanner, and then I have to put my file object into the argument. Okay, and then I will save the result to a variable called scanner. Okay, so if I use the bufio package, I'm able to import it into the Go language file. Okay, so let me have the scanner now, and the scanner can be executed by using the scan method. And when I use the scan method, I'm able to scan the file object line by line by using the scanner.text method. Okay, so this method is going to go through the scanner line by line, and I'm able to show the content of the file object because I now try to access the content line by line. So if there is some kind of error during the opening, I will have the error message stored in this ERR variable, and of course the error will come from the scanner.err method. Okay, and of course when there is some error, the error variable will not be null. In this case, I'm able to show the error coming from the scanner.err method. Okay, so let us see the result of running this program. Yes, you can see that I'm able to show the content of my text file line by line by the use of the bufio.newScanner method. Okay, and I'm able to show the content line by line by using the scanner.scan method. Okay, so this scanner is my variable that stores the scanner result. Okay, and then I can use the scan method to this scanner so that I'm able to print out every single line in this file. Okay. In Go language, I can also read the entire file at once. I don't need to go through the file line by line actually. How can I do so? I have to use the os package to open a file, and then I can use os.ReadFile to help me open the file. And in doing so, there is no need to use the defer data.close method when we use the os package. So for the read line method, I'm not required to really defer the closure of the file. Okay, so if I can read something out of my text file, the data variable will store the entire file at once. Okay, of course, if there is some error during the file opening, the error result will not be nil, and in this case, I'm able to print out the content coming from the error message. Okay. So after I've got the entire file in the data variable, I can turn the data to a string so that I'm able to print out the content. So let us see how I can do it. I can use string data. So I have to use the string function for my data that is obtained from the file reading using the ReadFile method. Okay. So let us see the result of running the program. So you can see that the content in the text file can be printed out by using the string data function. If I don't use the string function, what would happen? I will have an array of Unicode rather than characters represented by the Unicode. So let us see the result if I don't use the string function. Okay, you will see the Unicode instead of the characters represented by the Unicode. Okay, so you can see that there are 15 numbers because 10 here means the carriage return. Okay, so number 10 is the carriage return after the characters C, F, and I respectively. Okay, so there are 15 characters that can be printed out by using the Unicode. Okay. So I can also read the file in chunks. What does it mean by the chunks? Let us see. Of course, I can just use ordinary approaches to opening a file as before. Okay, and the file object is going to store the content from my text file. Okay, and here I can make a slice that stores bytes, and I have to include the length of the slice too. Okay, so the length of my byte slice is 2. That's why I have to say make and then byte and then 2. So I would like to store byte slices in my buffer. Okay, so buffer here is my variable that would be able to help me store a byte slice. Okay, by using the make keyword. Okay, and after that I'm going to use this buffer to store my file that is obtained during the reading action here. Okay, so I would say the file.read buffer, so that the file content that is already obtained beforehand will be read into the buffer. Okay, here n means the number of bytes that is read from the buffer, so I will have 2 here. Okay, and of course if there is some error during the opening, like here, I will have a break keyword to leave the for loop. What is the situation that I will break? It is something like end of file. So if the file is already ended, I will just break the for loop. And of course, I will print out the error message. Okay. And if there is no error message, I'm able to print out the content stored in the buffer. Okay. Of course, I have to use the string keyword so that the Unicode can be changed to characters. Okay, so let us see the result. Okay, you can see that all the letters can be printed out, and the buffer is able to obtain the characters 2 by 2, okay? So what will happen if I don't include the string function? If I don't include the string function, let's see. You see I'm able to show the chunks, and the chunks are of length 2, okay? So you can see that I have the characters. Here 10 means the carriage return, and I have another carriage return here, okay? And I have also another carriage return here. So you can see that the data are read chunk by chunk, okay? So we can see that we can use the OS package to help us open a file, and we can open the file so that the data can be read line by line, okay? And we can also use the OS package to help us read the entire file at once. The idea is to use the ReadFile method, okay? And also we are able to read the file in chunks by using the byte slides to store the data coming from the file object in the form of a buffer. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.